Hey guys, it's me, Poppy Brain here, coming to you with a new video. Today we're going to be talking about all the books that I have in my collection that I haven't read yet. I'm going to be telling you about the books, where I got the books, all that fun stuff. And there's some books, sorry guys, I'd like to ask you about. See if you guys would be interested in me reading the channel with you guys. And I'm also going to be rereading some books too. After I finish these, because I have like 100 books to read. But first I'm going to finish the Amelia Bedelia books with you guys, and we have Amelia Bedelia to finish. We have like half of those books left. We have the Tigger Tales. We still have 2 stories left in there to read. We have the children's classic book. We still have like, I think 3 stories left in there. We have, because what's left in there? There's Matilda, Encyclopedia Brown, and I can't remember what the other story is. There's one other one, because we did skip Tales of the 4th Grade Nothing. The Fudge one, that was in there because I've already read that. And then I'm going to do a whole pirate series with my pirate book that I got, because you guys know I currently have an obsession with pirates. Some of these books I have talked about already, though. If you watched my what I read for July video about it, some of these books came up, but I didn't go in detail because I didn't have them here. Some of them I did go in detail. The first book I have, I thrifted. This is J.R.R. Tolkien, The Silmarillion, The Epic History of Elves in The Lord of the Rings. So this is not part of The Lord of the Rings, but this is by the author of Lord of the Rings. I'll read you the back. Silmarillion is Tolkien's first book, and his last, long proceeding in the origins of The Lord of the Rings. It is the story of the first age of Tolkien's world, an ancient drama to which characters in The Lord of the Rings look back, and in which some of them, such as Eldaron and Galadriel, took part. Silmarillion was begun in 1917, and Tolkien worked on it, changed it, and enlarged it throughout his life. Edited by his son Christopher Tolkien, the book finally appeared 4 years after the author's death. So I'm kind of like, I started to read this and then never finished it, so I'm gonna restart it. I didn't get very far. I'm not really excited because the language in this is gonna be kind of hard to read, because a lot of it's in Elvish and stuff. But on the other hand, sorry. Oh, excuse me, I've been sneezing today for some reason. I'm not sure why. But on the other hand, and I'm not really excited because I didn't really like the Lord of the Rings books, but I loved the series. I mean, The Hobbit wasn't too bad. The other ones just bored me to tears. But I'm excited because I read The Hobbit before The Hobbit actually came out. But I'm also excited because the elves are my favorite characters in the book. I love Legolas, my absolute favorite character ever from Lord of the Rings. So that's kind of exciting. Next book we have, you've heard me talk about this author a lot. I'm currently reading, if you watch my July video, I'm currently reading one of her books, Sing Your Way Home. And I talked about her book, Small Great Things, that I audiobooked a couple months ago. That's in one of my what I read for the month videos. And I talk about My Sister's Keeper. If you've ever seen the movie, highly recommend the book. The book was way better than the movie. There's a bunch of characters that are taken out of the movie. Like, she had a guardian ad litem in the movie. In the book, she didn't have in the movie. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give it away. But the ending is dramatically different. You watch the movie and you're expecting the ending from the book, and it's like, what? It's a totally different ending. The way the brother was portrayed in the movie was not very accurate. It was not very good. There was a guardian ad litem that was taken out. there's just, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the movie, but it just doesn't compare to the book. So I have, this is 19 Minutes, again, another book I started to read and never finished. There's a couple books in here that I started to read and never finished. And this one is, yeah, so I've read My Sister's Keeper, which was my favorite so far. Second favorite was probably Handle with Care, about a little girl with osteo imperfecta. That was really, actually, I think it was a tie between that one and House Rules. That was really good too. I read Small Great Things. It wasn't my absolute favorite, but I didn't hate it either. This is 19 Minutes. This I thrifted. But like the J.R.R. Tolkien book, I think is going to be a little bit harder to find. I haven't really seen it too much, but you can probably find it online. This you can find anywhere. Jodi Picoult is very popular. She's a really, really well-known author, so this one shouldn't be too hard to find. It says, Sterling is an ordinary New Hampshire town where nothing ever happens until the day its complacency is shattered by an act of violence. Josie Cormer, the teenage daughter of the judge sitting on the case, should be the state's best witness, but she can't remember what happened before her very own eyes, or can she? As the trial progresses, fault lines between the high school and adult community begin to show, destroying the closest of friendships and families. So I'm excited. I mean, my one flaw with the Jodi Picoult books is the thickness, but it takes me a little while to read them, but I eventually get through them. I think the fastest I ever read a book was My Sister's Keeper. It was the fastest I read any of her books because I wanted to get it done so I could watch the movie. And I think I read the other one pretty... House Rules. I read that one pretty quickly too. Which my ex-girlfriend to this day, still tells me I never read. She's like, I bought you that book and you never read it. Because we went to this small little bookstore that we used to have downtown that doesn't exist anymore. And I went, and I started to read this book. She was really hungry. She's like, I don't care. She's like, I need to go eat. Just give me the goddamn book. You're not going to sit here and read it. I'm buying it. So she bought it. She still to this day, I'm like, I can tell you the ending of the book. Don't tell me I didn't read the book. I can tell you the whole story. It's so not what you, like, they make you think one thing the entire story, and then it's like a complete twist. And it's great. I love it. It's really good. That one was really good. Next one we have, I'm not going to go into detail on. This I thrifted. This is The Edge Chronicles, Beyond the Deep Woods. If you want to know about this book, check out what I read for August, sorry. What I read for the month of August. Because I just did this one in the month of August. Because I tend to add in books if I have books here that I haven't read yet, that I need to read, if I don't read anything that month. So we have that one. This one I started to read and didn't finish. So I'm going to restart this one. This I got from the Dollar Tree. It's All I Want to Do Is Kill. An illicit passion, a deadly rage. This has actual pictures and stuff. This is based on a true story. It says, teenage lesbian lovers. Holly Harvey was a Barbie doll beauty. Sandy Ketchum, a dark, troubled soul, fueled by sex, drugs, and obsession. She swore that nothing would ever tear them apart, even if it meant killing anyone who got in their way. With a shopping list, a good and decent couple, Holly Harvey's grandparents, Carl and Sarah Collier, wanted Holly to stop getting high and seeing Sandy. When the teenager struck, it was with a depraved savagery few investigators had ever seen before. Dozens of deep blood stab wounds were found on each body. The Colliers fought for their lives, but never had a chance against their granddaughter's rage. For murders soaked in blood, Holly and Sandy took off in the Colliers' truck. When police arrested them, Holly had a to-do list written in pen on her arm. Kill, keys, money, jewelry. The girl's lawyer battled furiously for an acquittal. Then it was up to the jury to decide. What price would they finally pay for their love, their rage, and their evil? This reminds me of the show, if you've ever seen Killer Kids. Highly recommend this. This one I found at Dollar Tree. This is by Dale Hudson. You guys couldn't see that. You can probably find this just about anywhere, I would assume. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen this before. So, you'll have to Google this. Try, like, eBay or somewhere, if you're interested in that. Next one is another book that I talked about in my August, what I read for the month. So I'm not going to go into detail, but this is a Lifetime movie. It's called Story of a Girl. Got this from Dollar Tree by Sarah Zarr. I'm sure you can probably find this on like eBay or Amazon because it's a Lifetime movie. One of the books I want to reread is actually a Lifetime movie. It's called The Pregnancy Project, which was super good. I'll give you the list. I don't have them here, but the books I want to reread that I currently have in my stash are The Pregnancy Project. That was super good. It's about a girl that fakes a pregnancy for a school project. Like to get everyone's reactions and stuff. And I think only like the teacher she's doing the project for and like her parent, like her mom, I think it's like the only people that know or whatever. It's crazy. It's really good. The movie has Alexa Vega in it. I believe it's who plays the main character. I highly recommend it. Another book I highly recommend that I haven't read in years, which is really hard to find, and the movie is really hard to find too, but if I can never find the movie, I'd like to get it. It's called Searching for David's Heart. It has, I'm drawing a blank. The kid that plays, if you've ever seen the show Phil of the Future, it has a kid that plays him, plays Phil. And I can't think of the girl's name. She's from a bunch of Disney Channel movies. Like, I think she was in Read It and Weep. She was in a bunch of Disney Channel movies. If you saw her, you'd probably know who she was. I'm drawing a blank at her name at this current moment. But it's really good. It's about this brother and sister. The brother works at the diner. A diner. The brother and sister, they get in the fight. Sister runs out of the diner crying. Runs out into like the middle of the road. The brother runs out after her, sees a car coming, pushes her out of the way, and ends up getting hit by the car. And the brother he ends up getting killed. And he's an organ donor. And her and her brother were really close. So she doesn't take the death very well. So she goes to search for the person that got her brother's heart. Searching for hence the name of the title, Searching for David's Heart. She's looking for the donor, which is supposed to be confidential, and you're not supposed to know that information, but she like goes through the whole story about her trying to find the person that ended up with her brother David's heart. So that's really good. This one I started to read, didn't get very far, didn't finish reading, but I'm going to come back to it. This is another Jodi Picoult book. This is Change of Heart. Huge Jodi Picoult fan. I'll read you what this says. Again, this one I thrifted, but again, this is a super easy find. Jodi Picoult books are super easy finds. Oh, sorry guys. I was going to talk about the other two. Before I talk about this, I was going to talk about the other two books that I'm going to possibly reread. They're by the same author. They're both by Sassafras Lowry. Sassafras is it started out as a kink leather-based author. Now mostly does dog stuff. If I met Sassafras on YouTube, Sassafras used to have a channel called Little Time with Sassafras, but due to COPA and all that, Sassafras no longer doing the little videos, only on Kira's Patreon. But Kira does still have a... Sorry, I don't know if I'm using that correctly. Sassafras goes by the pronouns here and Z. And I'm not really sure how to use those pronouns correctly. So excuse me if I'm using them wrong. Don't butcher me in the comments. I try my best. Here does have a channel if you want to check out Here's dog content. Because Here is also a dog trainer and does like dog shows and stuff. Here only currently has one dog left. In the last, like, what is it, year or two, Here's lost 2 of Here's dogs and 1 of Here's cats. So Here and Here's partner, they only have 1 dog and 2 cats. So it's Tricks and stuff with their Newfoundland puppy, who I think is like 3. I don't honestly remember. But anyways, yeah, it's called Introvert Circus if you want to check them out. But the 2 books are, I've read a couple. I tried to read one of Here's books. It was a kinky retelling of Christmas Carol. I can't remember the name of the story, but I just couldn't. I don't know why I thought I would like it. I didn't even like the original Christmas Carol. It's been done to death. My 6th grade English teacher did it to death. We had to go to a local playhouse to see the play. We watched 2 different versions in class. We read the play. No, I'm over Christmas Carol. But Here did one that really impacted my life a lot as a little, which is a kinky retelling of Peter Pan. If you guys ever wonder why I'm obsessed with Peter Pan, that's why. It's called Lost Boy. Really, really, really good. It's like a kinky little leather retelling of Peter Pan. So if you're a little or into the little lifestyle or into leather lifestyle, highly recommend. So good. God. I almost cried when the book ended. Like, I didn't want it to be over. It was so good. And then one on Here's Life, which is called Roving Pack. Not my favorite. Didn't love it. It was great though. Cause like it was, it's a fictional story based on her life, Here's life. So it was interesting to read. And it was funny because I bought both of them on Amazon, I think, is where I bought them both. And they both ended up being signed copies, which is super cool. The one had, like, the sticker in it and everything from the one place. Had gone to sign the books. That was super fascinating. And that made it that much better. I was so excited to tell Hero about it. So I still have both of those. But anyways, back to this book. This is Jodi Picoult, Change of Heart. I'll read you the thing. Would you ever give up your vengeance against someone you hate if it meant saving someone you love? Would you want your dreams to come true if it meant granting your enemy's dying wish? One moment, June Nealon was happily looking forward to a year full of laughter and adventure with her family, and the next, she was staring into a future that was as empty as her heart. Now her life is a waiting game, waiting for time to heal her wounds, waiting for justice. In short, waiting for a miracle to happen. For Shay Bourne, life holds no more surprises. The world has given him nothing, and he has nothing to offer the world. In a heartbeat, though, something happens that changes everything. Now, he has one last chance for salvation, and it lies with June's 11-year-old daughter, Claire. But between Shay and Claire stretches an ocean of bitter regret, past crimes, and a rage of a mother who has lost her child. Father Michael's decisions as a young man led him to devote the rest of his life to God. But when he comes face to face with Shay, he is forced to question everything he's been taught to believe about religion, about good and evil. about forgiveness about himself. Can we save ourselves, or do we rely on others to do it? Is what we believe always the truth? So that's this book. Again, I highly recommend Jodi Picoult. These books are super easy finds. Go to your local Borders. No, Borders doesn't still exist. If you still have Borders, I don't think Borders still exists. Books A Million in Florida, that's what they have. Go to your local Walmart, I think sometimes sells her books. Target, I believe, sells her books. Barnes Noble definitely does. Amazon, eBay. Dime a dozen. Another book we have that I got from the good old Dollar Tree is Killer Dad. Husband, Father, Murderer. This is by Robert Scott. This one might not be as easy to find. You'll have to Google it. Couldn't really tell you. A Perfect Family. Oh my God, there's blood all over. The 911 call came from a Colorado family man, Michael Blagg, distraught over his missing wife and 6-year-old daughter. Frantic search parties and Michael's anguished pleas on national television came up empty until the investigation stumbled across Blagg's dark side. A sordid secret. A devout born-again Christian addicted to internet porn, Blagg allegedly indulged in the services of paid escorts and reportedly abused his wife. Then in June 2002, nearly a year after her disappearance, when his wife's mummified remains were found in a local landfill, Michael quickly left town. Only one way out. Extradited from Georgia, Blagg was charged with first-degree murder, but the explosive trial was rocked by even more bizarre revelations, stunning twists, and an unspeakable mystery that haunted the country. What made Blagg do it? And even more disturbed, whatever happened to little Abby? So if you're into thrillers and such, highly recommend. This looks really good. I mean, obviously can't really recommend because I haven't read them yet. So this book is one of the books I want to talk to you guys about. If you guys are interested, I will read this on the channel. This is another Dollar Tree find. This is A Pocket Guide to the Afterlife, 91 Places Death Might Take You. This is different religions and what they believe happened in the afterlife. I don't really do religious content on this channel. I keep this channel politically friendly and religious friendly. So I do not engage in any of that sort of stuff on here. But this is just information about different religions. Which is not... I used to have a book about a whole bunch of different religions, but it got taken from me. It got borrowed from me and never returned. But I'm very fascinated with different religions other than mine. And this would not be me trying to convert you or anything. This is me just simply teaching you about other religions. I am a non-denominational Christian. If asked, I will talk about it, but I will never try and convert you. And I just want to make this preference too, right here and now. If I hate you, if I don't like you, it's not because of your religious beliefs. It's not because, like there's religions I don't agree with. I'm never going to judge you for your religious choices. I'm never going to judge you for your skin color, your sexual orientation, nothing like that. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't have to agree with what you believe. But that doesn't make you a good or a bad person. If I don't like you, it's because you're just a dick. As a blunt way to say it. Yes. I don't like you. If I don't like someone, I don't like you for who you are as a person. Not the color of your skin, the color of your hair. Not for anything, not because you're overweight, not because you're too skinny, nothing like that. Not because you have mental problems. Like, I had an ex, severely bipolar. I didn't like her because she tried to kill me. She was crazy. She was bipolar. And they couldn't find a medication that worked for her. So she was very unstable. She was not a good person. But Anyways, so this is the Pocket Guide to the Afterlife. So if you guys would like me to read this on the channel, I can. I'll read you the back. It says, don't leave your afterlife up to chance. You've planned your sweet 16 and your wedding and your retirement party. You've even planned your funeral. But what are you doing? What are you going to do afterward? Here are 91 exotic places you might land in the afterlife according to the world's most colorful religions. With the help of this convenient, indispensable book, you can survey 40 exciting belief systems. Can you pick your own personal path to salvation? Lapsed Catholic? No problem. St. Peter may not allow you past purgatory, but you can avoid the wait by running with the Lutherans. Better yet, join the Wiccans for a fun-filled rounds through the reincarnation circle and regularly rejuvenating layovers in Summerland. The options are practically endless, just like eternity, filled with handy diagrams, illustrations, and surprising facts about 40 world religions. Pocket Guide to the Afterlife is the only book you'll need for the rest of time. So, no, that's not necessarily true, but because this doesn't cover Christianity in here. I mean, it does cover some branches, but not mine. But, like, there's some religions in here. I didn't, like, voodoo apparently is a religion. I didn't know voodoo was a religion, but okay. A lot of these religions I've never heard of, or, like, you know, the ones you learn about in school. Buddhism, Hinduism, Catholics, Jews, that kind of thing, like, you know, Muslims, all that. But so, if you'd like me to read this on the channel, comment down below. I will have a couple other books I will be talking about too. You guys can let me know if you'd be interested in me reading on the channel. I don't remember which pile. The next one I got from good old Ollie's. This was an Ollie's find. I'm sure you can probably find this. This is Exploring J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit by Corey Olsen. If you guys are Lord of the Rings fans, this would be a good one to read. The Hobbit is one of the most widely read and best-loved books of the 20th century. Now, Corey Olsen takes readers deep within the text and uncovers the secrets and delights. Exploring J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit is a fun, thoughtful, and insightful companion volume designed to bring a thorough and original new reading of this great work to the general audience. Professor Corey Olsen takes readers on an in-depth journey through The Hobbit, chapter by chapter, revealing the stories within the story, the dark desires of dwarves, and the sublime laughter of elves, the nature of evil and its hopelessness, the mystery of divine providence and human choice, and most of all, the transformation in the life of Bilbo Baggins. Exploring J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit is a book that will make The Hobbit come alive for readers as never before. So, I paid, for the $2 I paid for this, I thought this was a good read. So, we shall see. Next book I started to read but didn't get very far, and I'm going to restart. This was a Dollar Tree find of all things. This is A Brief Guide to J.R.R. Tolkien, the unauthorized guide to the author of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. This is a book about J.R.R. Tolkien's life, more or less. A fascinating guide to the enigmatic father of modern fantasy. Tolkien was a bookish, pipe-smoking, bike-riding Oxford Don, most at home with inkling friends such as C.S. Lewis. In case you don't know who C.S. Lewis is, it's the Chronicles of Narnia series, the author. But the Lord of the Rings trilogy reached a vast new audience through the 1960s countercultural movement, even if Tolkien himself wasn't entirely happy about this. Now Peter Jackson's blockbuster films, most recently The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, continue to introduce Middle-earth to a new army of fans. Okay, so this must be written quite a while ago, because The Unexpected Journey was not the newest Hobbit film. The Desolation of Smaug and the Battle of the Five Armies have come out since this book was written. So there's that. But actually, guys, I think I'm going to make a part 2 to this because we're already a half hour into this. And I don't want to make this video super long. And I still have about 10 or so more books to go through. 10, 15 more books. So, you guys, yeah, I'm just going to make a part 2 to this. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. And like I said, if you guys want me to read the Pocket Guide to the Afterlife on this channel, please leave it in the comments down below. I might just do it anyways. If you guys would find that interesting, I will catch you on the flip side. Bye, guys.